Hello and welcome to the third episode of Creating Mobile Game series. In this video, we will add basic decoration mechanics, so when our player hits some button, it should put decoration on a Christmas tree based on player position. And before we start, just a reminder that you can try completed game on itch.io or Google Play Store. Don't miss my next video by subscribing for the channel. If you have any feedback or questions, please leave them in the comments section, and of course hit that like button. With that said, let's get started. Here is how we organize today's work. First, we will add decorate key to player input. Then we will create prefab for decoration, and after that we will create a script that will use raycast mechanics to check can we put decoration in the player position. So player input, where to find that? Let's go to edit, I believe, and then project settings, and then inside here we should find input manager. We should see all of the access, so we need to expand that one. We can see that right now it has like 30 different keys, and as we talked about in the previous video, we talked about horizontal and vertical when we're using those in our movements and jumps. And let's add one more key, so we just expand it by saying that okay, it's 31 now, and we will just change the latest one. I'll just say decorate, and I want to use space button for that. And also I want to say that it's not axis, but it's key or mouse button. When this is set, we can just close it, and that's it. Now we have a key for decoration. So the next thing is to create some decoration prefab. So as I said, when our player will be on the Christmas tree or somehow, we will press space and it should create a prefab on that Christmas tree. So if we create just empty object for now, and let's just say that it's a decoration, and let's add a sprite renderer component. So we just create a simple, let's say that we want to create just decoration as we do it in the normal way. We just create some empty object, reset its position. Now we insert in layer with saying, okay, it's decoration. And for the sprite, let's find sprite for decorations. Oh yeah, we need to prepare it first. So I say that it's a multiple, then apply. Sprite editor, slice, apply, and apply here. Now we have this different decoration, Christmas decoration, and I will just use a simple red ball for now, and I want to make it a bit bigger, so let's say 87, apply, maybe 67, apply. Yeah, this is fine. And so that's it. Every time when we hit the button, it should create this decoration on our tree. How to do that? I'll reset position for now, and what I will do is I will create a new folder in the assets and call that folder prefabs. And now we can just drag and drop our decoration here. And prefab is something that so we configure game object in a way we want, and then we want to store the state of this object to reuse it later. And this is called prefabs. So now if I will just drag and drop this prefab, you can see that we have this identical copy of the original game object. And if I will remove those and will drag and drop, you can see that it spawned this game object for us again. And so that basically is what we want from our script, is to spawn our decoration prefab on the space hit, and also just to spawn it in the right position, so in the player position. And also we need to check that we can place that decoration there. So because, for example, if player, so when we want to spawn it, so when we somewhere here on the Christmas tree, then it should spawn decoration. But if we somewhere here outside the Christmas tree, then we shouldn't be able to do that. For that, raycasting is very handy to use. Let's create a C# script, and I'll call it Christmas tree controller. And yep, let's open that script. And so let's talk a bit, what do we need here, or what variables, right? Well, I would like to access our player. So I will say that how it's called movement controller is here. And I will just call it player because I know that even though the script is called or class called movement controller, we know that this one is only on player. So yeah, I'll just name it like that. Then we also want to have a reference to our prefab. So I will call that just so it's a game object. And we say that it's decoration. Also, we don't want to spawn decoration like immediately after we spawn one, then we want to have some short delay. So let's introduce some variables for this delay. Will be just float variable and decoration spawn delay. It's easy as this, and I'll just make it 0.3 second. And also because we need to wait, we want to wait between this spawning of decoration, we want to check are we spawning right now or not. So this will be some private field, private boolean variable. Let's say can place decoration. And by default, it will be true. So by default, we can always spawn decoration, but then when we hit the button, then we first say that it's no, you cannot do it, and then we wait for some time and release this state. And also for raycasting, we want to, so when, so what is a raycast? It's like you can, how I imagine it. I'm not sure that I can explain it right, but how I imagine raycast, it's like imagine you're having this laser pointer or something just inside the game. And so you start to using this laser pointing to point on something on the screen. And so this is basically what a raycast is doing, is just shooting some raycast. And it hits all of the game object on the way. And we want to, so in this raycast hit, we can specify what type of object it want to hit. And it also, so this, first of all, this object, they require to have collider attached. And also we can specify some layer for those objects. And so by when we raycasting, we can say that, okay, don't stop on any object, but please only check this layer type. It's actually not type, but layer mask. So let's introduce also a field for that layer mask. Call it public layer mask. And tree layer mask. And so in update, so we don't need start function. In update, as usual, we want to have a condition if, so we want to check that we pressed that decorate button. And just as before, we just saying input get button down and decorate, because that's the key we created previously in the input manager. And when this button is pressed, we want to call on place decoration pressed or something. And again, we want to create a method for that. And so here all of the logic will be held. And again, because we want to check the possibility of can we do it or not. So if we cannot, if not can place decoration, then we say return. Return is, we'll just exit from this function immediately. And so then also we want to check position of our, or not to check, but just take position of our player. And I will say player pose, or like maybe better to say decoration, because it will be decoration position. And I will say that it's a new vector 3. Even though we are in 2D, I still want to have it vector 3, so we can specify z value. So it's never behind the camera. Yeah, because if it will be behind camera, so it will not be seen by camera, so it will not be rendered in our game. So player transform position dot x, player dot transform dot position dot y, and also I will say minus 0.1 f, because when we will do this raycast, we will say the direction of raycasting, and it will be the direction will be down towards the button, and then that position will be 11. Okay, so that was the easy part. And now raycasting. So there is a class in Unity, raycast. So here we will store the result of raycasting, and it's raycast hit 2D, and we will say that it's equals to physics 2D, because we are in 2D, and then we say raycast, and here we should specify position from where we're doing that, and then also direction, and so also layer mask, as I said, because we want to filter by these object types. So vector to down. So this will be like a starting point of our raycast. And then we're saying that it should hit down. Then we also can specify how far. So only 0.5 will be more than enough. And then we need to specify the mask, so filter. And you can see that, yeah, so we can say origin, direction, distance, and layer mask. And then it will return us raycast hit. Inside this hit, there will be a collider, and if nothing will be there, then collider will be null. So we can say if hit dot collider. Yeah, we can just say if hit collider, then okay, it's already there. And so when we hit some collider, when it's there, and we know for sure that this collider will be with this layer mask, because we specify it here, and only Christmas tree will be with that layer mask. So we know that it is Christmas tree. We hit Christmas tree, which means that we are in the right position for placing our decoration. So let's create that decoration. Just saying decoration to object. Yeah, I'll actually call this one prefab. Sorry, because now then I can just call this one decoration. It will be much better. And so we will instantiate this prefab in the spawn position. So decoration position, and one more thing that we need to specify is quaternion. So it's like rotation, and we just say that it's identity, and in this case it will be just 0, 0, 0, right? So default rotation. Now when this is done, we also want to specify or want to block next spawning of the decoration, right? So we say that can place decoration false, and after that we need to re-enable it again. So we can use just invoke, then enable spawning, let's call it like that, in, and then we have delay, right? Decoration spawn delay. So invoke will invoke this function with this name after this amount of times in seconds. And so we need to create this function now. I'll just say void. So it will return nothing. Enable spawning. And we're just saying that can place decoration true. And that's it. Let's just stop for a second and check what have we done. So in the update function, we check if our player pressed decorate button, which is space in our case, and then if so, we call this onPlaceDecoration pressed function. Inside the function, first what we do is we check that can we actually check place decoration right now? Do we have this possibility? If not, if this one is false, then we we go out from the function. Otherwise, we will just proceed And first we create this decoration position, which is based on our player position. And then what we do is we are raycasting using physics 2D. We're raycasting down based on this, and is searching for this layer mask. So with, for colliders with this layer mask. And if some colliders found, which means that we are in the right place, we are on the Christmas tree, so we want to instantiate our decoration prefabs that we provided here. And in the decoration position, we also block in decoration possibility by assigning this false to can place decoration, and also we saying that please invoke enable spawning function in this amount of time. Maybe we also want to check that if player hit the wrong place, so we just say in debug log can place decoration here. So let's go back to Unity and assign this script to our Christmas tree. And we can do it by adding a new component, or we can just drag this script to our tree and you can see that it is here. Now we need to specify a mask. And so first we want to provide a mask or layer mask for our tree. And how to do it? It's here in layer. Let's add one more layer and we call it tree. And now we need to choose that it's tree and we need to select tree here. But as I said before, we can hit with raycast only colliders, which means that we want to add collider here. And we can use, let's find collider 2D. We can use polygon collider. Then it will apply the shape of our Christmas tree, as you can see. But we also want to make sure that this collider is actually trigger. So it will not keep us out of the tree. So we can actually go on a tree and so on. So our player will not be hit this Christmas tree. Raycast will though. And now, so what next? We need to assign player and also decoration prefab. And decoration prefab we will drag from here, from our prefab folder. Good. And let's try and see how that works. Okay, so our player still running and jumping. And if I'll jump and press space, then yes, decoration is spawned on the player position. And it's so nice that it's actually behind the player. So yeah, I really like it. That's it for today. We're getting closer to make our project feels like a real game. In the next video, we will be working with scriptable objects and we'll use them to create our level configuration. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support me, you can always do it on Patreon for some extra perks, HAO, or you can check my assets including this game in Unity store. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.